The leanest I've ever been wasn't when I was eating the most protein. And I know this sounds like a contradiction from all the information you see online, but I want you guys to hear me out because this one mistake is why so many people try to cut down and end up losing the muscle they have or never get the lean look they actually want. And it all comes from one of the biggest lies in the fitness industry. Over the past few years, people have become convinced that more protein automatically means more muscle, or that if you're not eating a ton, you're going to lose your progress when you try to get lean. And I talk to so many guys who weigh 180 pounds and try to eat 280 grams of protein. They snack on things like protein bars, and when you walk into a grocery store, you see protein donuts, protein cereal, and even Snickers put a big label saying protein on it. It's become this buzzword that people use to try and sell you more of their product. And I remember when I first got serious about getting lean, I'd go to the grocery store and everything I bought was based on protein. If something had carbs in it, I thought it was bad because I genuinely believed carbs were what made people fat. But even when I would clean up my diet, do my cardio, cut out the carbs, and try to train, I just noticed that I felt worse and worse on the cut. I couldn't get a good pump, and I watched my strength drop on lifts I used to be able to do. And I chalked this up to just how you're supposed to feel when you get lean. But even when I pushed through, I just looked smaller, and then I'd worry I'd lost muscle, so I just eat more protein. But here's the problem. Your body doesn't keep your muscle because you're eating over 200 grams of protein. It keeps your muscle when you actually give it a reason to. This is when you're in the gym, actually training hard, pushing heavier weight, and putting intensity into your workouts. And what fuels all of that isn't actually protein, it's your carbs. You see, once you've eaten enough protein to trigger muscle growth and enough to make sure you don't lose muscle, eating more doesn't suddenly build more muscle. And the one thing most guys don't realize is that it's actually taking calories away from the foods that will help them push their performance in the gym. Because every calorie you're putting into extra protein is a calorie you're not using for carbs. And carbs are what allow you to get in the gym and get a pump, push more weight, and help you recover between workouts. When you cut carbs out and don't fuel your training, your body just gets weaker and has less energy. Less energy means going later in the gym, and that signals to your body that it doesn't need the muscle. Now, I want to be clear. Protein is extremely important, and you need to hit enough to rebuild muscle in between sessions. But that's not 250 or 300 grams. For most people, it's only your goal body weight. So if your goal is to be lean at 180 pounds, you should eat around 180 grams. Then you want to keep your fats around 25% of your total calories to support your hormones like testosterone. But once those two are covered, you want to fill everything else with healthy carbs. Right now, my goal is to build muscle while staying lean. So my meals look like this. In the mornings, I go do my fasted cardio, and then I want to come home to a meal I really enjoy. So I do a big bowl of protein oatmeal with a ton of bananas. And I'll sometimes rotate in a diced apple with cinnamon to switch it up. This keeps me full so I can actually focus on work and not constantly checking the fridge. Right now, I've been doing check-in calls with my one-on-one guys or working on content or building out modules in my program until 12, so I'll usually do a banana and some honey before the gym at 1 if I'm working out that day. For lunch, I go for a ton of volume, so usually some chicken breast with potatoes and a veggie option. Again, the goal here is to keep me from feeling hungry all the time so I can actually focus. So many people I talk to try to fast all day, but it just leaves them thinking about food constantly, and that's just not healthy. Then for dinner, I do a big meal that's usually high in fats. Right now, I've been doing steak or ground beef with 3 eggs, some potatoes, and maybe a piece of sourdough if I want it. I'll rotate in some meals like sourdough and eggs in the mornings, but generally, I look forward to each of these meals, and it makes my day so much simpler. And that's why I created this channel. I've seen how overcomplicated people on social media make getting lean, and I wanted to create a space where you can find actionable advice that actually works for normal guys like you. I mean, just check out some of the transformations from guys that have implemented my system. And I've tried it all. The low-carb diets, the crazy cardio, everything but injecting some weight loss drug, because you can get lean and lose fat when you have a plan built for your life. And honestly, this realization completely changed the way I approached getting lean. I thought feeling terrible was just part of the process and that the guys who actually get lean just suffer more than everyone else. But now I fuel my workouts, train really hard, and stay lean because I made the switch away from overeating protein to actually eating carbs and just moving more throughout the day. And if you want to learn the simple way I eat carbs to build muscle while I'm cutting, you should watch this video next. I'll talk to you then.